Grim result for FIFO workers.
Yeah, just when you thought it couldn't get any worse, we've got this. More than 2,600 WA mine workers contacted a new anonymous online survey to report either experiencing or witnessing sexual harassment on site in the first month of the survey.
Hang on, that's almost...
100 a day. 100 a day. It's since tapered off to just 760 reports in the past few weeks, which is better, but still not great. And we all know there's issues in the sector, but to see those numbers laid out is shocking. The sexual harassment evaluation tool asks workers, have you reported the incident? Where did it occur? And covers everything from indecent exposure to inappropriate touching and rape.
And it's independent of employers.
Yeah, that's right. It's through the regulator, which means people are probably more likely to come forward without fear of risking their jobs. More than anything though, this online survey just confirms what we've always known, and that's remote mine sites and basically any workplace where women are greatly outnumbered by men are rife with sexual harassment. So why didn't the government do something about it sooner?
Better late than never on the housing crisis though.
Well, if you're a WA property owner and willing to turn your Airbnb into a long-term rental, the Cook government has an offer it thinks you can't refuse.
$1 million.
Well, not that much, but Cook's Mob will give you $10,000 in 2 easy instalments.
Show me the money!
Only it's not that easy. To qualify, the entire home must have been on a short stay platform like Airbnb or Stays in the past 6 weeks. And then the owner must enter into a minimum 12-month lease agreement with a new long-term tenant. You get $4,000 when the home is first leased and the remaining $6,000 at the end of the 12 months. The bribe, let's call it what it is part of a raft of incentives that the government has taken 2 years to come up with to solve the historically grim housing crisis.
How much in total is up for grabs?
Well, here's the catch. It's $2.7 million, so that's only 270 properties, and the government predicts most will go to 1 and 2 bedroom city apartments.
No one wants those anyway.
I like it, but it seems a little small.
Yeah, well, the jury's out on whether this Airbnb payment will even work. Because here's another thing, for a percentage of WA Airbnb hosts, a one-off $10,000 payment could be a fraction of what they'd make on the short-term rental platform. But that's not the only issue, because this is not just about money for some property owners. I'd bet you dollars to donuts.
Forbidden donut.
It's also about flexibility. On house share platforms, the host decides who stays, how long they stay, and how much they pay. They can change the rental price anytime they want, and guests pay up front when they book.
So less chance of getting a bad tenant.
Well, don't get me wrong, Airbnb has its fair share of horror stories, out-of-control parties and the like, but less chance of being stuck with a tenant who can't pay rent, and then having to go through the process of evicting them.
Get out of my house!
The government knows that last one all too well, and kinda admitted as much with another rental crisis strategy announced this week. That rental relief scheme pays money directly to landlords to cover tenants who are in arrears. As a landlord, that's exactly the sort of situation that would drive you to Airbnb. Now, if it wanted to, the government could really crack down on Airbnb like other jurisdictions have. But let's be honest, they won't, because Airbnb is pretty important to the tourism sector. The platform itself says it contributes billions each year. So instead, they've come up with this $10,000 payment, which sounds impressive and is better than nothing, but likely won't do much to solve a very big problem.
Optus has a very big problem right now.
Yeah, well, you couldn't pay me to be Optus CEO, and I'm not sure how much longer Kelly Bayer Rosmarin will be paid to do it either. Yesterday's outage and last year's data breach were 2 of the worst of their kind in Australian history. And what have Optus done about it today? Well, they've done a shithouse job of communicating what caused the outage. But don't expect any comeuppance here, because Optus doesn't answer to shareholders. They haven't since the Singaporean telco giant Singtel took them private. Even the government inquiry announced today probably won't move the needle much, so the only thing that will get Singtel's attention is a mass departure of customers, which is surely inevitable now.
So much for the power of yes.
Some things you should just say no to, like pineapple on pizza.
Ew, no, David.
But even pineapple looks appealing compared to what you can get from Pizza Hut in Hong Kong. The pizza chain has partnered with a 100-year-old restaurant to make a limited edition snake pizza.
What the
Yes, shredded snake meat will be added to black mushrooms, Chinese dried ham, and mozzarella cheese on an abalone base. For a pizza the company claims will boost blood circulation. To be fair, pepperoni and cheese will clog your arteries, so maybe they're onto something after all.
I have had it with these snakes on this pizza!
Or maybe snake pizza will just leave a bad taste in the mouth, something Optus customers are getting pretty used to.
Bitch.
I'm Ben O'Shea.
Two young girls, they mattered to people.
There's unexpected turns and unexpected results.